Hello. Hope you're having a great day today. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you giving me a little bit of your time. Today, I want to talk about a recent paper from a collaborative paper from MIT and the Urban Institute. And the title of the paper is Improving and Standardizing Mortgage Refinancing. And in the paper, now in the paper, in a 13-page small print paper, they had all sorts of data and figures and charts. But they really boiled down to making about 4 or 5 recommendations, some of which I think are really good, and some of which you and I may not agree to. But it's interesting nevertheless. So first, let me just quickly show you what the article looks like. This is what the paper looks like. You can see it's 13 pages, kind of dense. We're not going to go through that. I will tell you, though, that Scotsman Guide offered a really quick overview of this article. I'll try to put a link to both the original paper and the Scotsman Guide down below. I also, of course, did a LinkedIn post on it today. So you go to my LinkedIn post, get those links, and get a quick overview. And I'm just going to boil it down to you really quick because I found it really interesting. And at least 2 of the solutions I really liked, and a couple of them maybe were okay. But here's what we got. So here's the first thing. And what they're saying is that, look, the system is making it too hard for people to refinance. And since the system, when I say the system, you really mean the government. So all these government enterprises or government-supported enterprises are making it far more difficult than it needs to be. So here's what they recommend. First, they recommend creating unified rules for rate and term refinances across all loan types. Loan types meaning FHA, VA, and the GSEs. That they just all adopt the same rate and term refinance guidelines and standards. And so that's first. And by doing so, it would raise awareness with consumers so they would be better able to access these opportunities. The second thing that they recommended, by the way, also, and it was the same thing they recommended, is that do the same for streamlines. Create one set of rules for streamlines, for FHA, VA, and the GSEs. And so just standardize it all. Make it really easy for the consumer to understand. So I thought those were great suggestions. I'm totally for that. The next thing is, which I also agree with, is use universal net tangible benefit standards. If the standard is you have to improve the 30-year fixed rate by 50 basis points, make it the same for all loan types, which I kind of agree with. Now, the challenge with that is that, as we know, each of those loan types serves a different clientele with different needs and different obstacles. But I'm not against having a unified net tangible benefit test that is standardized. Here's where, I maybe not agree. It's an interesting thought, but because one of the things that these authors from MIT and Urban Institute did is they really want to protect the homeowner. They want to give them opportunities to refinance. They want to protect them, and they really talked about churning or doing refis that aren't for the benefit of the client. And so what they suggested is eliminating the ability to finance in closing costs into the loan amount. The home buyer either has to pay them out of pocket or finance them into the interest rate. So that was their suggestion. Now, I didn't think that was a really practical solution because there's times when people can have, a huge benefit to refinancing, but they don't have cash to pay for it. And if, let's say, their break even is 12 months or less, but they don't have the out of pocket money, I'm not certain if that's a good decision, but that was one of their suggestions. And finally, they kind of had a 2-pronged suggestion, which is, is to eliminate any prepayment penalties, and so no prepayment penalties, and also gently, let's say, encourage, which really I came across as mandate, that lenders have outreach programs to notify borrowers when they can benefit from refinancing. So that was their suggestion. So it's food for thought. That's what I thought. Remember, unified rules for refinancing, both rate and term, streamlines, universal net tangible benefit for refinances, not being allowed to include closing costs into the loan amount, and then finally removing any penalties and putting rules around lender outreach to encourage outreach. So it's mostly just food for thought. As I mentioned before, I did a LinkedIn post on this today. I'll put links to at least one or maybe both of the articles down below. And with that, I appreciate you stopping by. I hope you got something out of this. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Thanks. Have a great day.